Greetings, Taku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander in Chief, and I'm finally here to bring you all my review of the Season 2 premiere of The Legend of Korra right here on Otaku Assemble Weekly. And finally, I know I'm late on this review. I apologize for that, but finally I'm here to bring you all my thoughts and my opinion of The Legend of Korra Season 2 Episode 1 entitled Rebel Spirit and Episode 2 entitled The Southern Lights. Now, my general thoughts on the premiere, on both episodes. Okay. I thought that Episode 1 was a pretty good start to the new season. I thought that they did a really good job at introducing the new players to this season, the new main characters, and new reoccurring characters that we'll be seeing throughout the season. I thought they did a real good job at introducing them and setting them up. I also thought that the main conflict, being Korra's journey to restore the spiritual balance of the world, I thought they did a good job at setting all of that up. It wasn't until, I want to say, halfway through Episode 2 when things started to get a little sour for me, and I'll speak into more detail about that as the review goes on. But overall, I thought both episodes were fine. I thought Episode 1 was the stronger one for the reasons I just gave, and Episode 2 for me was so-so. There was some good things and there was some bad things, I thought. But let's just jump into a bit more detail what I'm talking about. So off the bat, let's talk about the new characters. I do like, okay, first off, I'm just going to get this out. Still, Tenzin's kids, my favorite part of the series. Still, they hold up. Love Tenzin's kids. Absolutely love them. And I like Tenzin's siblings. I like Kaya and Bumi. I also like the dynamic of their little sibling rivalry. How you have Kaya, who's the big sister. Literally, she's the big sister, but she also fulfills that big sister role like Katara did in Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I like that, and I could relate to that because I got two big sisters. Actually, I could relate with Tenzin very much in his sibling rivalry because my oldest sister is a lot how like Kaya treats Tenzin, where she'll tease him, but she's the more nurturing figure. And then my second oldest sister, the one right above me, is just like Bumi. Irks my damn nerves. And I gotta sit there and take it. So I definitely knew where Tenzin was coming from. But then again, Tenzin's the baby. And see, I'm stuck in the middle. So while Bumi clearly was getting on Tenzin's nerves, at the same time, I was like, I feel your pain, Tenzin, but at the same time, you're the youngest. So, tough titty, deal with it. I don't know, it was kind of funny. But anyway, Tenzin's family as a whole, right now, my favorite thing about the series. His kids still hold up with me, and then his siblings are a nice, fresh addition. So I really enjoy that. And speaking of siblings, I like the relationship that they established between Korra's dad and her uncle Unalaq. I like that. I like how their sibling rivalry is not so much about one being better than the other, or it's not the generic sibling rivalry where you might think. It's not like Tarlok and Amon from last season. It's not like that, and it's not like the other sibling rivals we had, like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it was Zuko and Azula. It's not like that. What it is, it's more of Korra's dad being the older of the two, and Unalaq being the younger of the two. But Unalaq clearly is the wiser, so their rivalry is more like Big Brother wants to do his own thing, and he thinks, he's right. He thinks what he's doing, and especially the way he's raising his daughter. I mean, let's face it, Korra is his kid. So, him taking that stance against his younger brother, that's more of his thing. It's more like, yo, let me do my thing. I know what I'm talking about. Whereas Unalaq is I'm not saying he's the nagging little brother, but clearly he's the voice of reason, almost to a nagging degree, where it's like he's telling Korra's dad, it's like, hey, you shouldn't do that, and this is why. Hey, I don't agree with that. This is why. Hey, you should let me train Korra, and this is why. And he has legitimate reasons, but that's where the disconnect happens. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I think that with all the other dynamics when it comes to siblings and sibling rivalry that I mentioned early on, we need this new one, because that's what's going to distinguish their relationship from all the other siblings that I mentioned previously. So I like that they took that route with those two. All right, let's see, what else did I like with the new characters? What is it? Veric, I believe, is our eccentric billionaire or millionaire in the series, kind of like the crazy Howard Hughes type character. I liked his initial introduction. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him, but I can see him playing a supporting comedy relief. I can see that, and actually I'm looking forward to it, because okay, I'll mention Bolin when we get to the negatives of the two episodes. The time skip. I like what they did with the time skip. I like how the team has sort of split up and everybody's doing their own thing. Now, of course, Korra's still doing, she is where she was at the end of last season, and so is Bolin. But I like that Mako's doing something new. I like that Asami took over her dad's company and now she's trying to do something new with it. So I like how, I just like how they gave the characters their space during the time lapse. It makes it makes more sense to me that's that they would all kind of do their own thing. But also I think that has something to do with the fact that the new Team Avatar, I said it in my season 1 reviews, to me they've never been very they haven't had the cohesiveness that the Aang gang did, and so it would make more sense that during the time skip, and it's only been 6 months, but that they would kind of do their own thing until something happens that brings the team back together. It kind of makes more sense to me that way. Let me see some other positives. I like, as far as the conflict's concerned, this idea of spirits and their call. Well, okay, here's the thing. We are dealing with, disgruntled spirits who are causing trouble for man. We're dealing with that. What I'm kind of hoping for and what I'm kind of not hoping for is whether or not they'll take that and sort of do somewhat of a natural catastrophe bit, where it's like the spirits are affecting nature and that's starting to cause, all these, storm. Well, they did, with the Everstorm, they did mention it. But like, all these storms or natural catastrophes that's, that's affecting man and stuff like that, they hinted to that, but not really. It seems like the spirits are more hands-on and they have more of a physical presence than more of a symbolic presence. So yeah. So on the one hand, it would be really interesting to see them tackle that in the story, but on the other hand, I'm kind of against it, because already I was getting some strong Princess Mononoke vibes, and I'm like, okay, how is this going to play out? I'm not saying that that's necessarily a negative towards the show. I'm not trying to discredit the story in any way, but what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: if they decide to go that route, then that Princess Mononoke comment, yeah, I'm sorry, but that's gonna kind of be the benchmark for me with this series. You could easily argue, Larry, that's an unfair comparison, but I'm gonna tell you that's where I've seen this type of material handled best. So if they do decide to tackle that material, they do decide to go that route, that's sort of my measuring stick. That's sort of my measuring stick for that type of thing. But you know, I'll try to be as objective about it as I possibly can. I'll try not to get too biased about that. Yeah, because that is setting the bar a little bit too high. I do admit. All right, so let me see. Anything else I liked about the premiere? The animation was really fucking good. I really liked it. I liked their incorporation of CGI in this. Also, I gotta bring it back to the whole Princess Mononoke bit, because their use of CGI within the traditional animation is very, well, it's not similar, but I can see some of the same processes that were used. So when I noticed those things, I immediately I was like, oh wow, I can't believe they did that. Okay, that's kind of cool. Especially the animation with the spirits, I thought was really good. And I know and even with the action scenes, they've started doing more of the loose sketch type. And I know some people don't care for that. I've always cared for that type of animation when it's appropriate, because it's like I say, it adds fluidity, it makes it so much smoother, it makes it flow so much better. And when you see them frames run together like that in motion, when you got the color, when you got the final cut, when you add in the music, when you got the mixing, it all adds, and it's so fluid. I think it works in action scenes, cause one of the biggest series where I always hear that complaint is in Naruto, because with the fight scenes in Naruto, they always use that fluid motion style, and people hate it. I love it because it makes sense. Yes, when it comes to action scenes, you want that fluidity in your animation. You want that movement. Yeah, so that's just me. All right, so let's mention some of the negatives. Let's get down to this. Let's go ahead. All right, some of the negatives about the series, about the premiere. Still, I brought up Bolin. Bolin still does not do it for me as a comic relief. He doesn't. I don't find his character funny. I find him awfully annoying, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Second negative, Korra's relationship with her dad. I didn't care for it. I don't like the way she talks to her father. In all honesty, she is not justified in doing so, and I don't like it. It seems like, for the most part, it seems like it's just coming off as generic teenage rebellion, and I don't care for that. I care for it when it's justified rebellion, when it's, you know, the rebel with a cause, when the teen actually has a point in what it is they're doing. For a good example of this, see Batman Beyond. With the relationship between Terry McGinnis and Bruce Wayne, how Terry is very rebellious against Bruce multiple times throughout that series, but a lot of times he has a valid reason for doing it. Is he right and is he wrong? It's left up to the audience, but at least he isn't just, oh, I'm going to be the angsty teenager giving you shit because I'm the angsty teenager. It's not like that in that series. And with Legend of Korra, that's what it feels like. It just comes across as angsty teenage bullshit, and I don't care for it. The same thing of Korra's relationship with Mako. Angsty teenage bullshit, and I don't care for it. The way she treats Mako is not justified at all. And I don't care for that shit at all. I could do without it all. Let's see. Next thing. Some of the dialogue, I noticed in the first 2 episodes, but especially the second episode, Unalaq, his dialogue explaining to Korra what it is she's doing, or what it is she has to do, or the significance of this task, he got very repetitive with it. And there were multiple times watching the second episode. That's why I said the second episode by far was my least favorite of the 2, because it started to drag in the second half, because he just started the same thing over and over, like beating a dead horse. And I'm like, Unalaq, we get it. We know. Now I understand, keep this in mind, I understand that Legend of Korra primarily is for children. It's a kids animated series. But Avatar: The Last Airbender gave its audience more credit. It gave even the intended viewership of children more credit. And so what I'm saying is, when it came to episode 2, it seems like they were fucking spoon feeding it to us and just shoving it down our throat. And it's like, yo, give us a breather. We understand. Give your audience credit. The kids are all right. The kids are smart. They'll catch on, especially since we got to see it happen anyway. And this is just the second episode. We're going to be seeing this shit for the rest of the season. So give the kids some credit. The kids are all right. You don't have to get repetitive with it. Let me see. Are there any other negatives? No. I think that's it. Like I said, overall, the first 2 episodes, I thought they were fine. I thought the first one was good, and I thought the second one was okay. And as you can tell from this review, the positives clearly outweigh the negatives with this review. So yeah, I think for the most part, that's about it. So that's gonna do it with my review of episodes 1 and 2 of The Legend of Korra Season 2. I want to thank you all for joining me again this week, and in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on the first 2 episodes, as well as some of your thoughts. No spoilers for the 3rd episode. I have it on my DVR. I haven't watched it yet. I'll be watching it tomorrow morning and doing my review for that. It'll be uploaded tomorrow, so no spoilers with episode 3 yet. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Don't leave your thoughts for episode 4 yet. Do that in the next video. And I'm going to go ahead and take this moment right now to give you all a brief little update. I am going to try my best to release to you a video for, it should be every day between now and Friday. And this is how I'm hoping the schedule will work. Legend of Korra episodes 1 and 2 reviews going up tonight, right? Tomorrow is going to be episode 3 going up. Wednesday is going to be Sons of Anarchy Season 6 Episode 3 review going up. Thursday will be my review of the premiere of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Friday, when the new episode of Legend of Korra goes up, I'll review that on time because I got this Friday off. So that review will be out on time. And then hopefully, once I catch up on Friday, then probably that's when you'll start seeing the reviews either up the same day or up the next day, once I get caught back up. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. Here's hoping. I want to thank you all who've been bearing with me these last couple of weeks, because 2 weeks ago I was working around the clock, and then last week I was battling the stomach flu. So hopefully it's smooth sailing from here on out. But with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I am signing off, and until next time, peace.